Keep some spermicidal lube on you. Take that with you.
I usually keep some sperm on me.
What's spermicidal lube? Does that kill sperm?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know they had that.
Yeah.
I fuck like an old man, just missionary.
Do you really?
No, not. It depends on the girl. But
Okay. Depends how much you like her.
I like a good mission. If I like the girl and she's got like,
There's nothing wrong with missionary.
yeah, I'm just missionary's fine. If
Nothing
I
wrong
don't,
with missionary.
if I don't like you, you're getting your face thrown in the pillow and I'm beating the shit out of you. I can't have aggressive sex with women that I care about.
Yeah,
It's weird.
Yeah.
So
I
anytime
know
a
what you
girl's
mean.
like hit me, I'm like, ooh, this isn't gonna work. Because if I hit you, I'm not gonna respect you.
Right, yeah. And I want to respect you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now-
yeah. Well, that's. I feel like there's a wide range of what fits into aggressive sex, though. Like,
Yeah.
hit me is that's pretty specific.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like even choke me can be like, just like a little gentle.
Yeah, a
you know
little
what I'm saying?
choke
Like
is
there's
Right, yeah.
But hit me is like, I'm broken,
Yeah.
and I'd like you to break me a little more.
Yeah. It's like when your TV's fucking up and you just smack the side of it.
Yeah. Except TVs don't get concussions.
Yeah.
If you
we
hit them
do.
hard enough.
You have any concussions?
Do I have any concussions?
you ever had one?
for sure.
Hell
dude.
yeah, dude.
I wrecked my Volvo in 2022. Wrecked my Volvo that November, and I definitely gave myself a concussion when I wrecked.
Yeah, I talked to you afterwards. Can confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you were fucked.
I was concussed.
Was it like
Yeah.
real bad or?
It was pretty bad.
I was loopy there for a couple days.
That happened, yeah.
It made me funnier.
That's good, dude. Concussions, I've had like 6 pretty
It
good
made
ones.
you think you were funnier.
Yeah. Just like all the LSD that encouraged me to do comedy.
They change your personality, dude. If you're ever like
They definitely do.
Yeah, if you're in like a low point, you don't like who you are, just beat your head up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be a new
You
person.
can find a brick wall.
Yeah.
One good slam. Yeah.
I mean, I got real into disc golf one year, and I'm pretty sure that was just because of a concussion.
Uh-huh. That definitely sounds. So that's what's going on
Like
with
the
all those
whole
people.
Yeah.
professional disc golf tour
Yeah.
is just a bunch of guys who used to play other sports, fucked up their head, and then woke up one morning like, you know what?
Yeah,
I do have these frisbees.
yeah. No one who's sound of mind and body is like, I'm gonna go huck a frisbee and chase it by myself for 3 hours.
Yeah.
You just throw a frisbee as far as you can, then you walk to it, and then you throw it again, dude. It's the dumbest sport, but I love it. It's fun.
Yeah, you're playing fetch with yourself.
You're
Yeah.
playing fetch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say you've become the golden retriever and the dog owner at the same time.
Buddy, that's
You are the cricket and the grasshopper.
who I've always been. There's 2 wolves inside of me. They're both corgis.
I have evolved.
What's that thing? Looks like a lamp.
It's called a Zenko.
Ooh,
It's very cool. It is sort of like a genie lamp.
It is. Yeah, you can wish for things.
Yeah, and
As
then you'll
long
forget
as-
what your wish
As
was.
long as your wish was to be really like fucking
Okay.
high.
Is that like dab wax?
Yeah, it's
Dude, I
concentrate.
just got into dabs.
Did you?
Nice.
I
Yeah.
love concentrate. I'm very
Uh,
excited for this.
JJ and Nick and them started doing them, and they fucked me up.
I used to do dabs a lot. I used to get an ounce a month.
Holy shit. I wish I had the mental stability to smoke like that.
I worked at a dispensary.
I don't.
when
That's the
lived in
thing is I
California.
don't. I just smoke like that. Yeah.
You just make do with what you've got.
I just push through. You know. It's like
Yeah.
going to the gym. Sometimes you get sick of it. and You're like, I just got one more rep.
I have to anyway. Yeah, I worked at a dispensary when I lived in California, and I went from trying dabs for the first time out there to having access to insane shit. Because like when you work at a dispensary out there, you end up meeting a lot of people who produce the shit, and like it's one of those not so secrets of the industry that like there's always surplus.
Yeah.
And you just throw trash bags away of bad product and say it was whatever the weight it was, but nobody's checking that shit.
Yeah.
So there's lots of weed that gets sold underground to other places. So when you work for a dispensary, you have access to all of those people. So I wouldn't buy anything from like the normal channels. I would just go to all the people I knew who worked at those places and get shit under the table. So I got access to all of the best shit at prices that don't even fucking make sense.
What part of what part of California were you in?
I was in San Jose.
Oh, where's that at?
Northern California.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I lived in San Diego for a minute.
Okay, nice. Yeah, it's San Jose is just below the Bay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You lived out there like right before the pandemic hit, right? Or right as the pandemic hit?
I moved there. I was supposed to move there. My leave date was the day the world shut down. Like, me and my sister were going to drive across the country, move to San Diego.
Wow.
COVID hit. So I stayed until July, like that first year of COVID, and then moved there. And then I moved here February the next year. So I was there for like 8 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was there for 3 years. I went there to, start comedy and like really got into it the last year I was there. And I literally got my first paid gig the Friday before the shutdown was on Tuesday or something like that. My first paid gig was the Friday before, and I was like, it's all fucking happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here. This is all like everything's falling into place, and then the whole state shut down for 8 fucking months straight. It was insane. I couldn't believe my shitty luck. It was brutal.
It's awful. I mean, I won a competition in Columbus, and then I was like, fuck yeah, dude, I'm going to move. I was going to move to San Diego. I had friends out there. And then same thing, world shut down. And I didn't do stand-up for 6 months.
I know, it was brutal. And then there was like a month window where things were open in like September, and then everything shut down again. It was super frustrating. The place that I was at in Oakland, the guy was probably, I don't know, like a month or so from opening the place when the shutdown happened. Brand new club he just built. And so he pivots and builds like an entire club outside in the alley behind the club.
Nice.
Just all outdoor, open air, builds a stage back there, separates all the tables, and we're all wearing masks outside, separated. And then they still came and shut us down.
That's crazy.
And that's when I was like, I'm going to fucking Texas. I'm over this shit. This is stupid. I'm not playing this game anymore. So, and obviously it's been better since I've been here.
When did you move here?
In May of 21.
Oh, okay.
Or sorry, March of 21.
Yeah. I got here February 21.
Okay, yeah.
Hell yeah. And you had just got here too, I think.
July 21.
Oh, July. I remember seeing you when you got on Kill Tony.
I visited Mumford and I visited here in like late February. It was the day we got here was the day they turned off like the boil water advisory because they had just got over the freeze. So we got there that Monday, and like everything had just opened back up from the freeze basically. And then we visited here for a week. We did Antone's, Kill Tony, hung out at Vulcan, met a bunch of cool people, did a bunch of open mics, and we were like, we're good enough to do comedy out here. We can make it. And Mumford moved out here in April. I moved out here in July.
Damn. I didn't know you moved here with Mumford.
Yeah, Mumford and I did comedy together in Virginia.
Nice.
Yeah. We didn't move here together. I mean, we visited here together. He came, like I said, he came in April. I came in July.
Yeah,
and we've never lived together since we've been in Austin. But yeah, it's nice having somebody from my comedy scene out here. It's nice having a familiar face. I see that Orlando crew grows larger and larger every day, the Florida people, and then they're always having friends visit and
we
stuff.
gotta get these fucking swamp people out of here. Dude, what the fuck? You need to stay back down to your toenail of a state. Fuck Florida, dude.
Toenail of a state?
Yeah.
You don't like Florida?
No,
I like Florida.
Sucks.
I mean, not that part of Florida, but I like Florida.
I've only been twice, and both times I had a nightmare.
Where'd you go to Florida?
Orlando.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you
That's
literally
terrible
went
part
to
of-
this, like, anybody in Florida's like, yeah, that part of Florida sucks.
that part of Florida.
Oh, well,
South Florida?
No, literally the edges. Anything,
coast.
if you go in, it gets bad.
Really?
Like all of the
Yeah,
stories you
that's
hear
swamp
about
people.
Florida Man,
Florida Man.
that's all in the middle. All of it.
Okay.
Because it's just all swamp people.
I only went
Sometimes
once,
Florida
and I
man
was like,
migrates to the coast. You know what I mean?
Oh, they'll get out there.
They'll get out there sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't have anything to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's
They'll-
nothing to do.
They'll just walk.
Yeah, and you can see them. Like, they probably stand out. They're all leathered and
Yeah.
wispy. They got wispy
Yeah.
facial hair.
For sure, for
Yeah.
sure.
They just
Yeah.
burnt all their like head hair off because they
Yes.
don't snot.
And all of their bath salts also. They've burnt
Is
all
that
of
big
those.
in Florida?
Oh, my God.
Huge.
All right, you guys are kind of changing my mind on Florida.
You sold,
dude,
right?
let's go to Florida, dude. Hell yeah, I love a good
Yeah,
bath.
you should move there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go take over Orlando. I'm like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, let's go take over the Orlando comedy scene.
I feel like it wouldn't take much.
No.
First of all, because all of their good comics are here now. And second of all, because it's fucking Orlando.
I like that energy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like how they did it. They are like the only place that is like having just people. They're like Jews. They're just like they got in and then it's like nepotism.
You mean they're digging tunnels?
Yeah, they're digging tunnels under the mothership.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because like no one else. I moved here from San Diego, but I came with like Tar and McDuffie. But like no one from my hometown besides like Halima has came out here, and then yeah, most people in San Diego just stayed. Florida, they're fucking booking it over here.
Yeah.
It's cool to see.
I've interacted with a couple of people that came out here from Northern California, but none of them stayed. Fucking British John. He was out here doing Kill Tony and stuff like that for a while, and kind of like he was everywhere for a couple of months. But anyway, he's one of the guys from out there, and then a couple of the other people that have come in, but none of them have actually stayed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody I know from that scene back there is all still doing stuff back there. It was crazy. We would try to do comedy shows just outside. Like we'd just put up a Facebook post an hour before, like, hey, we're meeting at the park, and cops would show up and shut us down. It was fucking insane. It was absolutely insane. It was brutal.
Yeah, we were doing open mics in Virginia, and every week City Hall would hit the bar with another set of circumstances under which we had to perform comedy. It was like, you can do a comedy show, but it can't be an open mic. It was like, well, you can do a comedy show, and it's not an open mic, but you can't use a microphone. And it just they
can't use a
yeah. So they kept trying to give us all sorts of weird stipulations and pushback and stuff. It sucked.
There was a point in time where the Madhouse in San Diego was doing open mics on the sidewalk, but they were calling it protests because they were like, "Oh, you can protest. We're gonna." So he would.
That's genius.
So he would have people come with
That
like
is beautiful.
hold picket signs. And then there would just be an open mic going on. He would like take pictures.
That's
like
fucking
yeah,
That's
it was a
great.
protest. It was an open mic protest.
Genius.
Come protest.
I fortunately I avoided Zoom comedy. I didn't do it a single time.
We did Zoom improv.
That's tough.
That's as good as live improv. If we're being honest, that's the same value.
I'm basically Ryan Stiles.
An internet lag on Zoom improv. Oh, it's gotta be a nightmare.
Yeah,
All
with
the
just
improv
me
people
doing a
trying to talk
shitty
over each
German
other.
accent, pretending to be a plumber in the Swiss Alps. I don't know why.
Because that's the cues you got.
Guten Tag, guten Tag, guten Tag, guten Tag. Yeah. It's not good. Nobody wants to watch that.
No.
Nobody wants to watch that.
No.
Nobody wants to watch that.
I don't know. I bet you get a couple views. I've watched weirder stuff, that's for sure.
I've definitely watched weirder stuff.
Yeah.
I've watched much weirder stuff.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever watched on the internet?
Oh man.
Let's pull it up right now.
You ever see BME Pain Olympics where that guy cut
Yeah.
his balls off with a hatchet?
Yep.
Yeah, that.
That's probably the weirdest thing I've ever watched on the internet.
I saw a guy get decapitated with a knife.
Sick.
That was crazy. It was like a cartel thing.
It sounds like it would take a while.
I remember the
It did. It was bad.
Yeah. I saw somebody get beheaded. It was the first video from the Afghanistan war, or maybe it was Iraq.
Oh,
No, I
like
think
the
it was.
reporter?
Yeah, that was crazy.
That's a hard one.
Because it was literally the motherfucker was sawing, and he's screaming for like longer than you would expect.
Ooh.
Like a long time. It was very, very fucked. It was, and I was like 14. It was not good.
Dude, the internet was the Wild West back in the day.
Yeah.
We used to just get on
This
like
podcast took a dark turn.
Yeah, it does that.
that.
We were doing like the get to know you phase before we get into the storytelling
Yeah.
phase, and we went right into
And then we're like, murder
right into
videos.
beheadings. Yeah, straight
Yeah.
into beheadings.
We can always pivot out. We don't have to stay here.
No, we're gonna show.
Just
We're
all
gonna
the
cut in a
clips.
clip of the fucking beheading. Right
I mean,
now.
it is a good way to segue into the beheading stories that we were going to tell today.
Ooh, yeah.
Because Kyle had that time he beheaded a guy. He was going to tell us about it.
He was.
Whoa, dude,
but
this-
now we ruined the fucking surprise.
This is
Spoiler
admissible
alert.
in court, right?
Yeah, no, this is all. Everything that we discuss on here happened the week before the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
So it's.
So
You
whatever
just
the,
made it.
whatever the
Isn't that
statute of
great?
limitations
Yeah.
is on
It's good timing.
sawing
On the crimes
someone's
you've
head
committed,
off. Yeah.
or allegedly committed. So welcome to the fucking Stoney Baloney
Welcome.
podcast.
All right, dude.
It's good to have you here.
I hate this
Welcome,
part. It
Kyle.
always feels so inauthentic.
I know it's
but we
always
have to
the
do
worst,
it
but we gotta
like
do it.
for
Yeah.
in case somebody's watching for the first time. But
Yeah.
this is the podcast.
Yeah,
This is what
like
we
and
do.
subscribe, motherfuckers.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
So here's the rundown of the podcast. You told us about a week ago about the topic of the story you want to tell, and then Scott and I both come up with stories that are in the same genre of that topic. And one of us is lying, and one of us is telling the truth, which we have determined ahead of time. And then at the end of our stories, you got to pick.
I got to pick which
Bic
one.
lighter. Yeah, you got to pick which one.
Whoever's the liar is getting caught on fire.
Lit up.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. All right. Do you want me to just tell my story?
Go for it.
Oh, man, this is...
Actually, no.
Yeah, should we hit that first?
Yeah, we should hit that first.
Yeah, it's got to get weird in here.
Got my phone on the table. I'm an idiot.
Stirring glass.
This podcast is brought to you by some
Stoney
guy.
and Baloney. I should have said the letters Stoney and Baloney. That would have been better. Damn it. Can we go back?
No, you suck.
Ah, that's so satisfying. I can hit it too?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, it's dual. That's really satisfying.
Ooh, fuck.
There it is.
He saw it getting a good pull, and he just let you have it, dude. He just let you have the whole thing. He said, "Here you go, Kyle."
No one
Have
told
fun.
me. I don't smoke like weed that crazy. Like I'm just like a blunt guy. So anytime I do this shit, people don't. Do I keep hitting? I don't know. How high should I get?
Yeah, very high. High enough you can't tell which one of us is lying and telling the truth.
I didn't get any of that. Kyle took it off.
Oh my bad, dude.
There it is.
He's like, "I don't really do this weed stuff." Never smoked weed.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
smoke-
usually do this. Okay.
This is my first time. I mean, I smoke a lot of weed. I just don't smoke it like out of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
usually don't do it on the first date.
We just met.
Do we have any joints ready?
No.
Holy shit, you guys get high.
Yeah.
All right, dude.
Yeah,
let's
it's
do it.
it's,
Yeah,
it's
good,
a
I
little
need it.
inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, now you can tell your story.
All right. So I told you guys. I said about a time I got beat up in middle school. I was like a little dorky fat kid. I had like a real bad haircut. I kind of looked like
Fucking same. I was also a dorky fat kid.
I was also
Yeah.
a
And my
dorky
dad
fat
cut
kid.
my hair. So
Yep. My
so
dad
it
did
was
too,
as bad as
often.
it could get. I had a bowl cut for way too long.
Oh,
Until I was
dude.
like 12, 13. It was super upsetting.
I had nothing but mismatched clothes and shitty haircuts and clothes that didn't fit because I was not only a fat kid but tall kid. And yeah, everyone smoked in my house too, so I was the stinky kid that smelled like cigarettes. I was all the
that
kid,
sucks.
dude. I was
Yeah.
every kid.
That's tough. Yeah, I was just very ugly. I was hard to look at. My teeth were fucked up. My dad used to give me this fucking haircut where it'd be like a tight fade, like a real tight fade, and just like long bangs.
Oh, no.
That was like the haircut at my high
Did
school.
your dad hate you?
No, that was just where I grew up. Everyone had that haircut.
Uh-huh.
Like some dudes would gel it down and it looked like they have a barcode on their forehead.
Did you
And-
go to school with like a bunch of people that had Down syndrome?
I mean,
Oh.
Because that would make sense if that was the
Yo.
popular haircut.
I was just talking to my sister on the phone, and we were talking about how everyone in Columbus is like fucked up. Because I went back like a couple months ago, and I just saw so many like twisted and broken people. I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And like, I was talking to my sister, and she said there's so much like shit going on around Columbus, like industrial wise, like and like especially from like way back when, like our water supply was just like fucking ruined. Just everyone in Columbus is all
And the
just like,
air, like everybody's just breathing
everyone's
fucked
ugly
up
and mean
chemicals
and
shit.
stupid. It's crazy.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. I mean,
Everyone here is pretty and nice and also very
That's
stupid.
stupid.
Yeah.
It's fucking dumb as shit.
yeah.
Even the people who are like, I went to college, you're like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm an
insane.
idiot. I have a GED, and I'm
You
like,
got all
fuck.
the way through to the end.
Oh, yeah. It's a weird world we live in.
I dropped out of community college. Gareth has a degree.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And that's nuts. Inside baseball, but like Gareth. is-
Inside baseball.
He's retarded.
Yeah. What were we talking about? My story, right? I was at school. I was a quiet kid. Like no one really like. Like I had like my group of friends, and we just like hung out like weirdos, you know.
Yeah.
This girl walks up to me and she's like, "Hey,
Did you guys play like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff like that?
man, my friends really wanted to, but I drew the line. I was like, no, come on,
We're not
guys.
that weird,
Guys,
kids.
we're doing voices out by a tree alone. We already look pretty weird. I'm not bringing Japanese weird into this too, dude. We got to be good old fashioned American weird.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, we were definitely autistic.
Yeah.
Back when there was
When there wasn't a word
was the word for autistic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something wrong with you, boy.
Man, those kids really like eating worms. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, they're just weird. Oh, they're on the weird spectrum. That's what it is. How weird are you, boy?
On a scale of 1 to get the fuck out of my house, how weird are you, boy?
Yeah, in that part of the country, as long as you weren't like gay or drooling, then you weren't too weird. You know what I mean? For them to be like, he's sick.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you just couldn't be gay. And you couldn't
drooling
play
was
Yu-Gi-Oh.
still okay. Like, as long as you weren't gay. And
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. If you
Which
were-
honestly, that's a lot to put up with. Come on.
yeah, right?
we did
'Cause
almost
it's
vote.
cum. You know what I'm saying? It's not even drool.
We almost voted a mentally retarded girl as our homecoming queen, and our principal was like, not going to happen. They were like-
Guys, I
they
know
were
what
like,
you're doing.
Yeah.
This isn't from the bottom of your heart,
Yeah.
okay?
This isn't funny. You guys don't like her. She's weird. And we're like, yeah.
Isn't it funny how now the principal would be the person that stepped in and made that happen? Mm-hmm. But back then it was like, no, we know what's about to go on.
Yeah.
That's fucking amazing.
Dude, yeah, that would have been a Carrie situation, though, too, because, like, retarded people definitely have telekinesis. 100%.
Oh, yeah. Stuff would have been flying around the room and shit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, some of them have been flying around the room, but because they're like freaking out and throwing it.
Also
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, because tantrums.
Mm-hmm.
Because tantrums. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
you're
that who
wild,
jumped
dude.
you? Was the
No.
was the autistic girl?
No. This girl came up to me and was like, hey. And like, I was like, what? She was like, I know someone that wants to fight you. And I was like, what?
That's a lot.
I was like, why? And she was like, he said he wants to beat you up. And I was like, no, thank you. And I just walked to like my class.
Yeah, you thought that was an option.
Yeah, he was like, he's gonna beat you up. I was like, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
I got
Not in
an
the
English
room.
class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So I
You couldn't possibly.
no. I was just walking, and then he comes up and taps me on the shoulder. And I turn around and he goes, I'm not going to beat you up. I was like, fucking hope not. Punched me right in the face.
Fuck! I was just
Boom,
immediately.
boom, boom. Hit me like 3 times. I threw a wild swung and I missed. He like went to tackle me, and I had him in like a headlock, and like my like legs were wrapped around him. And like the teachers came out and broke it up, and like my friends were just standing there. I was like, what the fuck, guys?
Oh, so they're just hanging out watching.
Yeah, I just got my ass kicked for no reason.
Fuck.
There's being
Yeah.
weird kids looking at their books of trains and picking their noses and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
It was
Such violence.
It was crazy. Then they took me to the office, and this is probably the most embarrassing part, was like, we got into the office, and they're like, what the fuck happened? And I was like, I don't know, he just punched me. And then the kids started going, no, he said this, and he did this, and he pushed me. And I was like, I just got assaulted, and I'm like freaking out. I started crying. I was like, well, no, I didn't. Why are you saying this? You just punched me. What did I do? And the teacher, like, the
So
principal.
you didn't even know, like, there wasn't any, like, you guys didn't have a beef
I've
or
never
anything,
seen
like,
this
you
guy in my life.
Oh, shit. Like,
I
this is
just
your
looked
very
beat upable.
first.
Yeah.
I mean,
He didn't even go to that school.
Yeah.
kind of do.
Yeah, which is fair.
Yeah.
But,
You're lucky this is before the age of like mass shootings really started.
oh yeah, dude, if I could have got a gun, dude, I would have torn that school to shreds, dude. I would have fuck everybody. Not now, dude. Not now. That's crazy. But back
He's
then,
like, oh, I was looking for a gun.
Yeah.
I couldn't find one.
no, guns scare me. I don't like loud noises.
Because of the autism. Yeah, that makes sense.
Stop. I'll cry, dude. Sorry. Couldn't do it. But the fucking principal pulled me outside to like calm me down, and that's when the bell rang, and so like a bunch of class went out, and I'm just like crying and my eyes swollen, and like my whole school is just looking at me. I'm just like,
Oh,
fuck.
everybody's just walking by you, just swollen
It
face.
was a nightmare. I was like,
how
freaking
old
out.
were you?
I was probably like fucking 12.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's a rough age for anything to happen. Because, like, everything that happens when you're 12 is awkward and wrong. And you know what I'm saying?
Especially because I was a quiet kid. I didn't fuck with anybody.
Oh, no.
Most people just didn't even know me.
And now they did.
And this kid just saw me and was like,
I'm a fucking.
he wanted to get kicked out. He wanted to get suspended. So he was like, I'm just going to punch somebody. And it was happened to be a boy.
Did it work out? Did he get suspended like he wanted?
Yeah. So,
because like you helped the guy out, you know what I'm saying? Like ultimately,
well, it was just I was freaking out, and then they had to call our parents, of course. Which my dad's a fucking crazy person. My dad's huge, and he's nuts. He's like a fucking bull. You can't stop him. And they called him, and my dad walks in like red faced.
Oh Jesus!
Because they were like, because they called him like your son got assaulted. So my dad's like, oh shit. My dad like just walks in the principal's office.
He was walking in there ready to fight a 12-year-old.
Oh yeah,
He was gonna fuck that guy up for you.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And then his dad was this like old like alcoholic. He was like, his wife left us, and my dad was like, oh yeah, I can fucking see why. And he's like in this guy's face, and like my dad like threatened to sue him. So like I think we actually pressed charges on him because I didn't fucking do anything. And the crazy part of this story is my best friend, his name is Joe. He was like gonna like get this guy back for me. He comes from like an Italian family. He'd just been watching the fucking Godfather.
Just waiting for this moment. He's like, this is what I was born for.
Yeah. Dude, he wears this fucking like a fucking all black suit to school on like a Friday.
Oh my God, what a psychopath.
Yeah, dude,
holy shit, that's way scarier than a trench coat.
And he was older than me
a full suit? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, he was in all black. And,
this guy's going to assassinate me. He's going to make me get down on my knees and say a prayer before he puts two in the back of my skull. Fuck.
Yeah, and Joe had two crazy older brothers that were like nuts. So he was like kind of stable, but he would do crazy shit. So at the end of the day, like the kid walked by and Joe was like right there, and he was like, who is it? I was like, the bald kid. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, don't worry about it. And then I see him like the next night. I'm staying at his house.
And then I never saw that kid again. Jesus Christ. Don't worry about it. No, now I'm worried. What the fuck are you going to do?
But then he came home with the biggest fish I'd ever saw. I don't know where he caught it or how he caught it, but we ate for months off that fish. It was good fish. It was great fish. So it's white fish.
So I see him the next night, and I'm like, what happened? He goes, so here's what happened. I followed him through like the field, and I waited till like no one was around. I went up behind him, I kicked him in the back of the knees, and he fell down. And I grabbed him by his hair, and I threw him on the ground. And I was like, careful who you fuck with. And, like, I was like, dog, I said the bald kid.
Oh, no, you got the wrong fucking guy. Oh, no. But also, that kid didn't fuck with anybody at, like, the rest of his life.
Yeah, I just perpetuated, like,
holy shit.
A string of harassments.
God damn it, that's fucking
beautiful.
Good.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny. We laughed so hard. That kid was probably piss his pants.
For sure.
That guy's like, all right, I won't fucking fuck with anybody.
And then that kid ended up killing your bully. So, like, everything came full circle.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That kid ended up they both went to Virginia Tech. So.
Nah, I'm pretty sure that kid, like, is in prison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because of the shooting.
Yeah.
At Virginia Tech.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Did you roll that while he was talking?
Yeah.
Sick. It's my friend.
Tell me I'm amazing, Scott.
I just said that's my friend. Not going to say the things you told me to say that feels submissive, and I'm not doing that. It's gay. Not your sex toy, Gabe. All right. So, there's that, too.
Well, then what's the point of this fucking podcast, Scott?
That's right. To get our friends high.
Feminism.
And expose their secrets to us. What are your nightmares like, Kyle?
I haven't remembered a dream in years.
Yeah, that's why I smoke as much weed as I do.
Yep.
So
I don't remember. Yeah.
I never really got nightmares. They were just weird. I'm pretty high.
All right. You're allowed to say no.
Yeah, you did.
I hope so. Be weird if I couldn't.
No, you must do the podcast.
No, put the mask on.
We have done that to people, but not today.
But go get the tow truck chain.
And the tow truck while you're at it.
Oh, so I got in a fight in Yeah, it's just us. It's just us. I'm too high too, but I'm just pushing, I got into a fight in 7th grade in middle school. I didn't really. When you said that you had a time that you got jumped, like you got like sucker punched.
Yeah, I misworded that. That's on me.
Yeah, I was thinking like when you sent us that explanation, I was thinking like he and a gang of his buddies.
Oh. No, I was like in the grocery store when I was responding, and I was trying to be quick.
But also,
yeah.
When you're 12, getting sucker punched by one person is getting.
He jumped me.
Yeah, he did jump me.
That's fair.
It is kind of jumping you. It's like Oh,
did he jump at any point while he was hitting you?
He did tackle me.
Don't respond to that. That was stupid, and I shouldn't have said it. I hated that.
But your story did remind me of another story, so I'll save the being beat up by multiple people story for a different time. So I got in a fight in 7th grade with this kid named Tony Guadamus, and Tony and I had been like butting heads all year. We were in the same homeroom and a couple of the same pre-algebra or what the fuck ever classes that we were in. But we've been butting heads. We were 13-year-olds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Testosterone shit's happening.
Yeah. The first doses of fucking boy hormone. It's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also think there was a point that he like dated a girl that I liked, or also I was like the weird kid, so there's not much liking any girl, let alone somebody's girlfriend. Once that news gets out that the weird kid has a crush on, you have to establish dominance over the weird kid. You can't just let the weird kid be weird. I wonder what happened in your story on that kid's perspective. Like what made him think he needed to beat you up? If you were just someone he saw as an easy target and he was like, I want to look tough, or if maybe you were being weird and autistic and said something that some girl didn't like, and it was a girl that was his friend or his girlfriend or his sister or something, and what was the explanation? Or was there any?
No, because he lied as soon as we got in there. He was like, he started it. I was like, what?
Damn.
What are you talking about?
So he had no reasoning for it.
He wanted to get kicked out of school.
Because he was just one of those
He didn't want
kids.
to go to school, and he didn't want to get true. Like, I don't know. He just didn't want to be there. So
I wanted to get kicked out of school a lot too, but I didn't resort to that. I mean, it's an easy way to get like a 5-day suspension. And then after a while, they just started expelling people for getting in fights in school.
Yeah.
That's a fucking really like extreme way to go about it. Just skip class and be a truant and do that until they put you in alternative school and then skip that. Yeah. I wrote a playbook.
Skip fucking alternative school. That's the end. That's the end of the playbook. Once you do that, there's no coming back. They don't let you do anything.
Yeah. You can go get a GED.
Yeah.
Start a podcast where you get high with your friends. You get a crack addiction.
You kids can get a GED and start a podcast. Don't do that.
Be a plumber or an electrician. Do something of value.
Something that makes money.
Yeah. And then listen to the podcast while you're doing that job.
Yeah. And and subscribe.
Yeah.
Podcasts go great with construction.
Yep.
They do, for sure.
Yeah, that got me through a lot of it.
I worked back room at Target for a year, and that's where I listened to so many podcasts in that time. Because it's just you doing inventory and just backstocking. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the fucking best. You're just there in solitude by yourself.
All of a sudden 3 hours has gone by, and you're like, oh, shit, nice.
Yeah, exactly. That's cool.
Break time. Mm-hmm. And then you go get violently high on your break.
Yep. 2 Girls, 1 Cup was another weird video that we all watched on the internet.
Yeah. I didn't know what it was. My buddy just told me it was a hot porn, so I was like, nice, I'll look it up.
Check it out, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think I'm one of 3 people who never actually watched the video.
Let's watch it.
I know what it is. I've actually read a transcript of the video.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Way weirder.
But you gotta see
way
it.
weirder.
But like written the same way they would write a movie transcript, scene by scene.
Yep. Yeah.
Damn, I bet the people that uploaded that video originally did not expect it to go that viral.
Why else would you make it?
Oh, that was like early internet days.
Yeah.
They probably, I don't know.
Where do you think those girls are now?
Dead.
Dead?
Yeah.
From the hepatitis?
Yeah. From the fecal matter? Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. It was it certainly was not fecal matter. It was probably some kind of fake mixture of chocolate and peanut butter or something.
I think they put ice cream up in her.
Yep.
It's a good time.
Yeah. Who gets the job of like
You ever seen the lady eating the
just like
That's a good
scooping peanut butter into somebody's butthole?
and how much do you get paid?
Does your butthole get tighter if it's cold?
And how high on cocaine were these people?
Very high on cocaine.
Fuck.
So high.
Whoever came up with that idea was like, yeah, so I have a plan.
Yeah, very high.
Got any ice cream?
All of the cocaine.
Yeah. So we weren't fighting over the 2 girls, 1 cup video or anything, but Tony and I...
or anything. Why would we...
No, we had just already been butting heads. He was also a new kid, but he was like a cool new kid. Like he came in and was like, I'm an alpha. I'm a cool kid. And I was a fucking shitty kid. But there's one day at lunch, because we all had to sit at the same lunch tables like with your homeroom, right? So one day at lunch, and he's bullying one of the weird kids, like one of my weird friends. Mm-hmm. And as you know, I've told you before, when I would get in trouble, they would stick me with Miss Penny, the lady who lived across the street, my friend's mom.
I do remember.
She taught
that episode was when Scott found out that he was in the special classes.
Yeah. So when I would get in trouble, instead of putting me in ISS, they would put me in the special ed classes because I couldn't really fuck up in there. There's nobody to like chit chat with and stuff.
Yeah.
And my friend's mom, the lady who lived across the street from me, was my babysitter growing up, and the people that we went to church with growing up taught the class. Mm-hmm. So they're like, oh, Miss Penny knows how to deal with Scott. Mm-hmm. So Tony's picking on one of these kids, and I think I am starting to realize more that I was just...
Yeah, no, she knew how to deal with Scott because that's what she did for a living. Was dealt with Scots all day. No, Miss Penny actually has a degree in dealing with Scott.
I'm moving back to Virginia, man.
Yeah,
I hate this. I'm not playing Call of Duty with you later. This is bullshit, dude.
Wait, what Call of Duty you guys play?
We're playing the current one. Yeah.
Damn, I only have the one before that.
Oh. Well, Warzone's free.
Is that the one where you just like...
The Battle Royale.
Oh.
You just drop in and kill everybody. Until
Call of Duty version of Fortnite.
I don't really play video games.
Good.
I kind of kicked the habit.
Good.
Yeah. I'm going to read tonight instead of play video games. Also, I need to watch an episode and make timestamps. And that's not what Tony and I were arguing about, though. What he did was... is he threw like, the little like Capri Sun or High C straws with the pokey end so you can puncture. Mm-hmm. So he threw one of those puncture end at the kid across from him, which was one of my friends and one of the weird kids and somebody that's like, you don't bully that person. Mm-hmm. So I went around the table to confront him and like face mushed him, put him in a headlock. And I remember my friend, his name was, God, this is going to sound like a lie. His name is Tom Brady.
Fuck off.
You were Tom Brady and who were you fighting?
I went to school with a kid named Tom Brady, and I went to school with a kid named Will Smith.
Nice.
Tom Brady went on to be like the manager of Liberty Lanes, which was the bowling alley in town, and also had the comedy club upstairs, Liberty Laughs, where Faison Love and other comedians of that caliber would travel through and do comedy. Jamie Kennedy is someone else who did comedy there. So it was the shitty little club in my town.
In the bowling alley.
At the bowling alley.
Yeah.
That's sick.
But Tom Brady went on to work there at the bowling alley, be a manager, bowl 300s, post about it on Facebook. Like, if he has a Tinder profile, it's him at the bowling alley. Not him holding a fish. It's him holding a ball. It's cleaning a ball.
What's he look like? Is he frumpy?
He was a very
tall?
pale. Yes,
like
he's kind of frumpy.
Does he look like
he's a pale white, almost
plays bowling. Yeah, I guess
on the verge, on the very verge of, like, you and I are on the autistic spectrum, and you too probably, but he was on the albino spectrum. He was 1 or 2 clicks away from being albino. He's very bleach blonde hair, very very pale,
Swedish.
Very light blue eyes.
He looked like a me.
Yeah, Swedish.
He looked like a me character.
Yeah.
From the Wii.
Hitler would have loved this guy.
Yeah.
Loved him. Poster child. But I remember I had Tony in a headlock. He's smaller than me. I was a big kid. I've always been like a frumpy kid and a kid that's got bullied, but I was also a big big kid. So the couple times I did have to stand up for myself, I used my weight to my advantage. I had Tony in a headlock. And I remember Tom looking at me with like the sweetest eyes, and he's like, Scott, stop. So I let Tony down. And by the time I let Tony down, the resource officer and the principal are in the cafeteria coming down the lane between, the cafeteria tables, right? They had come down the lane because we're like almost right in the middle.
So you're surrounded.
Right. We have table to this side, table to this side, and an alley. And it's the principal and the resource officer. And the resource officer grabs me right after I threw Tony down. And just out of instinct, Tony jumps up and hits me.
Fuck!
While I'm being held. And then he got held like the instant after I got hit.
Got that last one
in. Yep. They sent me back to the retarded class for the rest of the day.
Damn, you gotta go be a losing fighter and a losing thinker. Damn, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, I would be
Aren't
shit
you
at
guys
chess
supposed
boxing.
to be super strong?
You mean Germans or you mean the R word?
Both.
Yes, I know.
Is it pronounced Rotzi?
But that was one of the only times where I didn't get.
You keep scooting this way. You got to be that way for the camera. Get out of my shot.
Whoa! He wanted that fourth camera so bad because he needs his shot that's on him.
Yeah, you got that right.
Right there, right there. 3?
We got 4.
Just one under the table pointed at your cock.
Too. Nice. It's cold out.
It is cold out.
That's not fair. You guys should have warned me.
No, that's part of the podcast.
Damn it.
That's why it's fun.
Yeah. You know how when you watch World Series of Poker, you can see their hand? And we can see your...
You can see my bulge. Nice.
Yeah.
You can see your
hand you were dealt.
You can see your baby's hand holding an apple.
I wish.
But I didn't get in trouble. My dad vetoed and protested that one very heavily because I was defending a kid that was getting bullied and because I got hit in the face. I just contained him. I never actually hit him. I'm the one who got
actually
hit.
Strike him.
Right, yeah.
But and also, everybody was there when he hit you.
Right,
which
exactly.
Is double points.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you should be allowed to put people in headlocks just at will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little especially if there's a noogie involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's harm. Like that
For containment
it
issues.
sucks, but like
yeah, for noogies.
Your girlfriend's attacking you, just throwing a little like, hey.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Hey,
calm down.
Hey.
Don't do that. It's not nice. Yeah, that's why you keep a little spray bottle on you.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, that's what you're doing, right?
That or the Caesar Milan thing when he like
Ooh,
pokes the dogs. Hey.
Depends on if you have a cat girl or a dog girl, whether you keep the water bottle on you or
I think it's super
not.
funny that guy's career ended with him getting mauled by a dog. Like that's just the funniest thing.
Just like Siegfried and Roy.
He got attacked by a dog.
What kind of dog?
I think it was like a Doberman or something. Like it was a bigger dog.
Was it real bad?
Yeah, it fucked his face up. Yeah.
Damn,
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And then his show was gone.
Yeah,
All
then
of a
he was
sudden,
like,
the show where he calms down violent dogs.
yeah. I wouldn't.
Sometimes you believe your own hype a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
I think Bo would
get
definitely
bit in the
bite
face.
that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
Bo would definitely bite that guy. My dog would not fall for that shit.
No. Especially
that
if he started talking about peeing on people.
Exactly. So, long story short, my dad vetoed it. He told them that I didn't deserve to get in trouble, that I deserved to go to the amusement park. They gave me ISS for the rest of the week, which obviously I got put in the retarded class. Then my dad at the weekend took me to the amusement park, King's Dominion. You can look it up. Paramount's King's Dominion. Then we all grew up, and Tony went to jail for discharging a firearm at a house party and
That's
shot through the wall of the house into the neighbor's house across the street.
That sounds right. That sounds very right.
That's a tough way to go to jail.
Uh-huh.
Like no
Very
bad
tough way.
intent. You're just stupid.
Yep. I think he also got a dishonorable discharge because of that, too. Because he was also a Marine, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, if he was still a Marine, he definitely got a dishonorable discharge for that firing off a gun in a random,
Also, if
building.
he was drunk and accidentally discharged a firearm, that's definitely more of a Marine thing than an Army thing.
Also, right? Exactly. Yeah,
I
you get
mean-
at least 2 free ones if you're a Marine. You can pop off at least twice.
Well, it's not actually
Come on.
that different.
No.
They're all pretty crazy.
Oh, they're all insane. Yeah, the Marines are just like,
which is good. We need them.
They're more upfront about how insane they are.
I think that's why war is good. We get all of our crazy people, and we send them to another country.
Exactly, to
go
unleash
fight.
their crazy on them.
Yeah.
Same with comedy and music and art.
Yeah, the only real problem
need
with
those
that is
crazy
that they
people.
eventually come back and have to be in society.
Yeah, and they're way worse than when they left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they ask for our cigarettes.
Oh, you know what we should do? We should just have endless wars.
Ooh,
And
military.
then they can always
We should build an industry off of
be
this.
in war.
Yeah.
I like it.
Is that what your story's about?
So
Make like a complex or something.
Yeah.
So I was also a weird, fat, nerdy kid, but I had the
You and I
benefit-
are still weird, fat, nerdy kids. He's the only one that ended up being. Look at him.
I have to. He's across the table from me.
I look pretty tired, probably.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah.
really high too. That's
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. It's good.
But you also look like the quarterback in a Disney movie.
Ooh, yeah. The Disney movie about the quarterback who like is a little. He's like 31, and they're like, "We're gonna give you one more shot, kid," and he comes back in and Flacco's it. You know what I'm saying?
I
Oh,
like
for
that.
sure.
Yeah.
He's been redshirted like 15 times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Still holding on hope.
He's got the record for playing for the most teams in the NFL for the shortest period of time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, I like this less and less the more you describe this guy.
No, I like it. It was worth the $6,000 getting my teeth fixed.
Right? Yeah. See,
I had
it all
adult
paid
braces.
off. It all paid
Good.
off.
Yeah, I started comedy with braces on my mouth.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
Did you do jokes about it?
a couple.
Everybody else did. So
Yeah. Actually, no, it wasn't a big. I got porcelain ones, and like a lot of people couldn't really tell.
Oh, cool.
Oh, so you're hiding them. Nice. That's the best way to do it. If you got to do adult braces, you don't want people.
Yeah, you don't want metal ones. That's crazy. I had a couple girls that were like, I want to.
Unless you're a girl in
braces.
porn,
And you're like,
you know what I'm saying. And then
yeah.
obviously you got a demographic.
I licked a girl's braces one time.
Nice.
Nice lady.
Did she lick them back?
It was the day before she got them off.
Nice. Was it the day before she got you off?
Probably a couple hours before.
So I not only was I all of those things, I also, my parents were super, super strict religious. And so I went to a Christian school, or when they couldn't afford to send me to the Christian school, I homeschooled. So it was a mix between the two, right? So I was as fucking weird and off as you could get. So during one of the years when I was homeschooled, and also the worst part of that experience was like, the school that I went to was this little like shitty, it wasn't like a good Christian school. It was just like trailers in the back of some little church in the middle of Georgia. Right. So it wasn't even like a good experience when I was there, but literally I would go and then skip a couple years and then go back, and like all of it was like everybody knew me, but it was still like I was the new kid every 3 years. It was fucking terrible. So it was around the same time as what you were talking about. I was like 11 or 12 when all this happened. And it was one of the years when I had to be homeschooled. So I was just fucking bored all the time. So I lived outside. We had, behind our house was just like acres and acres and acres of woods. So I just fucking lived out there. That's all I did. And then there was a couple of kids that lived in the neighborhood that I hung out with. But I didn't have a lot of friends. Like I had church friends because my dad was a pastor, but it wasn't like I didn't have a lot of like, generally speaking, I have a lot of friends, and again, they were all fucking weirdos like that. But this one kid who lived down the street, and this is the part that will sound like a lie of my story. His name was also Tony, but still to this day, I look back and I'm like, his dad was definitely involved. His dad is the only person in my life for real that I look back on and I'm like, he was involved in some kind of criminal shit. Like he was involved in some kind of. I remember one time we went to his work, like his office, and it was just this weird, clearly, like, again, remembering it now, I'm like, it was clearly a front business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like some warehouse with just random piles of boxes and stuff, and like we hung out in the front area and were not allowed to go in the back where all of the real business was happening. There was probably fucking card games and all kinds of crazy shit happening back then. But anyway, he was just this, and I remember Tony's dad was like the most Italian, like just wore a wife beater and fucking jeans all the time. Like that was his look, and like he just did that all the time. He was just that guy, right? And so Tony and I were friends, but we had that friendship where like we would be friends at some point, and then when we didn't get along, it was like, fuck you, I don't. But he lived like 2 houses down, so we're gonna fucking see each other. And also the neighborhood kids that we hung out with was all the same group. So this was during one of the times when we weren't friends, and also his cousin was in town, and his cousin fucking hated me. Like anytime, even if we were cool, if his cousin came into town, he was like, I'm not hanging out with you while he's here because he fucking hates
Damn,
me.
what'd you do?
Right? That kid didn't like me. We were both the weird fat kids, and I think it was like...
You were stealing his weird fat kid shine.
Yeah, and he was like, what, you're replacing me being friends with my cousin?
Can't be more weird and more fat than me. I'm the weirdest, fattest guy this side of the Mississippi.
That's ever. Yeah. So we just didn't like. He decided. I remember the first time we met, he looked at me and he was like, "I don't like you." Just the first thing he fucking said to me.
At least he's honest.
And then, I mean, he didn't beat around the bush, but
yeah,
it was like
point,
that for forever. Every time and he would come every summer. You know what I'm saying? He was around from. I don't remember where he lived, but it was close enough that he would be around far too often.
Sounds like it got to the point too where it was like you were his rivalry game. You were his Oklahoma, and he was just getting prepping. Geared up every year, watching game film, waiting.
Oh yeah, he couldn't wait to come fuck with me. Oh, absolutely.
We gotta beat Bama. We gotta beat Bama.
And this particular day was a clear sign of that because I rode my bike over there, and like it was again Tony and I were whatever, but I was hanging out with some other kids, and we were just kind of in front of his house, right? And the cousin was like, "Don't fucking come up here. If you come up here, we'll fight you," right? And we're all full of shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really fighting when you're 12 years old, right?
That's true.
But I remember I was always a bit of a smart ass. So like I like put my bike tire on his driveway, and I was like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" Right? And Tony was like, he wasn't an asshole like his cousin was. So like he wasn't ever trying to start fights. But he definitely clearly when his cousin was there, like he was like if his cousin started a fight with me, he probably wouldn't have swung at me, but like he wasn't gonna defend me. You know what I'm saying? He was like he's taking that guy's side, obviously, right? So we're having a little back and forth, and then the other kids just like walked up there and started hanging out, and I honestly was just like, fuck, like you're not gonna. Like, I'm not really going to sit out here in the driveway and talk. Because that's what they were doing. They were like, you got to stand down there if you're going to talk to us. I'm like, fuck that. So I rode my bike around in the circle for a little bit, and then I just, like, rode up the hill. And his driveway was, like, a steep hill. And I was like, fuck that. And while I was riding around, his cousin went into the back or whatever. And there was a couple other kids that lived next to him that also went back with the cousin. So it was just me and Tony and one other kid in the neighborhood, and we're just kind of bullshitting or whatever. And then all of a sudden I get hit in the back of the shoulder with a fucking rock, right? And I turn around, and all 3 of them had come out, and they've got like fucking lost boys. Like they've got sticks and rocks and shit, and they're like ready to like go to 12-year-old war.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Lord of the Flies, dude.
Fuck, right? So one of them runs out and he runs at me, but it was also like they're 12, right? So nobody knows what they're doing. So he literally runs at me and gets to me, and he's like, ah, like, you know what I'm saying? He came at me like he was gonna hit me, but he got there and he was like, I'm not ready for this, right?
Yeah.
Like he wasn't actually gonna hit me. But then the cousin threw like 5 or 6 rocks at me, and 2 or 3 of them hit me. And I remember like I was because of all the super weird religious shit, like I was not. Also, my dad was insanely abusive. Like he beat the fuck out of me. So like I had no defend myself in me. You know what I'm saying? So like I was defiant as a person, but like physically fighting somebody back, like I didn't know how to, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know how to defend myself.
Yeah, I was the same way.
And also my dad, when he would beat me, if I tried to defend myself, he would beat me more. So like not only did I not know how to defend myself, I was like instinctually, I was like, that makes it worse, right? So I just kind of stood there and took it while these kids are fucking, and one of them was like he was poking my bike tire with his pointy stick and trying to pop the tire and shit like that. And they were all fucking with me. And then finally I was done with it, right? So I was like, fuck you guys, and I left. And then one of the kids who like was the neighborhood kid who lived beside Tony was kind of like slowly walking behind me, and I rode back to the house, and I was just kind of sitting there. And he walks up to me, and this kid and I never really got along, but like he lived on the other end of the street, so like we didn't really have to interact. And nobody else really liked this kid either, so it was like I didn't have to deal with him much. He wasn't really hanging out with me.
but now a fire's been lit.
Oh my God,
Everybody's
he's ready,
riled up
right?
and shit.
And already, like, absolutely, like everybody's already against me, so I was like, fuck it.
Plus,
I
they
don't
just
like this
did
kid.
that and got away with it, so
Yeah.
everybody's feeling a little bit more confident too.
So he walks up, and I'm just kind of standing in my yard, and he walks up, and he just slaps me in the face.
Damn.
And I remember literally.
Were you still on your bike?
I was.
Oh, so you had,
I was
like,
just
no
kinda
balance?
standing. Yeah,
That
I
sucks.
had nothing. And but I also remember he slapped me, and I thought about the Bible verse where Jesus said, turn the other cheek, and I literally let him slap me in the other side of the face, right? And then my dad clearly sees this from inside and comes out, and the kid runs up the stairs. And then my dad yells at me. He's like, why the fuck would you let... He didn't say fuck. He definitely didn't say fuck. He was like, why would you let him just attack? And I'm like, I don't, like... So I got the shit kicked out of me, got rocks thrown at me, got slapped, and then my dad's like, you're a little pussy on top of it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I'm like, you did this to me, right? So, and I ended up talking to Tony later the next day, and he was like, yeah, because his cousin had left. And he was like, yeah, I'm sorry about all that. He was like, when he got here, he was like he had this whole plan, and he had like everybody had stations that we were supposed to, and we were gonna lure you into the backyard, and then just like beat you up and throw you into the pool and try to drown you. And I was like, what the fuck? This kid's like a true sociopath, and I don't know what happened to that. Like Tony ended up being like his dad, like the same, just like an alcoholic asshole, an Italian guy. But I don't know what happened to his cousin. But like he had to have, if he didn't get caught for it, he's definitely doing like elite criminal shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's definitely like probably works for the family business. But yeah, that was, and then we ended up just eventually moving out of the neighborhood, and that was the only way I got away from that shit. But it was like constantly, every time his cousin would come into town,
torment.
always, some kind of fucker. It was the
Nightmare.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just terrorized as
Did
a child.
you ever get revenge?
No,
I would have hit
and that's
him.
the thing.
Yeah.
Like I never like. It was only another year or two after that we moved out of that neighborhood. But like I didn't learn to like any kind of like self-defense or any of that kind of shit. Like I didn't learn any of that until I was in like late teens.
Yeah.
So I never went back and fucked him up. Although I could now.
This isn't my story for the stories that are truth or lie, but there was a kid like that in the trailer park that my mom lived in. My parents are divorced, right?
First of all, of course there was. There was almost exclusively kids like that in the trailer park that you grew up in. Yeah.
Right, yeah.
I lived in a trailer park. I know, Scott.
Right, yeah.
For sure.
So my parents had split custody, and I would go spend every other weekend with my mom. And she lived in the trailer park. She rented a room from this Salvadoran family. And there was this kid in the neighborhood. It's probably about halfway through the 6 years that she lived there, 5 years. Because when they moved to a house... This was in Dumfries, Virginia, just north of Manassas. Then they moved to Woodbridge, like Lake Ridge area, which was just a couple exits north on 95. But when that family moved to that house, my mom moved with them. She lived with that family for a while.
Oh, she was part of the family.
Essentially,
Nice.
yeah, and I was too. I grew up with that family.
So, like,
and
are
with
you
their
in
kids.
MS-13?
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
they were some wood chipper motherfuckers, dude. So, but there was a kid like that in the trailer park in the neighborhood that my mom lived in when I was a kid, and he was bullying me one time. We were all like playing football, and I had a drink, like a glass of ice water, and I went to splash it at him, but it slipped out of my hand.
Ooh.
And he thought that I was trying to throw it at him. He accused me of trying to,
like throw the glass at you.
Right, yeah.
That's worse.
So then that became like a torment for me there for a while. This kid just kind of, just a general.
I thought he had a reason. Because he was
Right,
like, that time
yeah.
he tried to attack me.
Yeah. So he threatened to tie me up to a tree and throw bricks at me. And I remember that was
Little
just
did
like,
he know that was Scott's thing. So
yep.
Yeah.
And that was a lingering.
now he pays for that.
Yeah.
How
yeah.
much?
How much you got?
Wait, I have to pay you to do it?
No, he's gonna hook you up with the
Oh.
lady who does it.
Yeah.
No, I thought I was going to offer to throw shit at you for money. I'm broke.
Oh, he wants to be your madam.
Oh,
Or your
good friend. Support the homies.
Yeah.
right.
I'm a
Exactly.
local
That's the word.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a small business.
it's small, all right. But yeah, so that was just a general lingering threat for years that I had to deal with,
Just
or
like
just constantly kind of avoiding that kid in the side of the trailer park. That because he was also a kid whose whatever parent had split custody of him, so he was only there. He was kind of like that kid that would come visit you. He was
So
only
he's
there.
only around sometimes, and,
Right,
and like
yeah.
when you see him, you're like, "Oh fuck, he's here."
Yeah.
There
was almost a film in the air.
I
with,
remember,
like a
I remember
Spidey
his
sense when he was.
car, and when I would see it, pull out, I was like, God damn it!
It's the green
This fucking
Taurus.
Weekend is gonna suck every time. It was the worst.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Why would you lie to Kyle?
Because I don't like him.
It's not nice.
That's not fair. Fair,
You hardly
honestly.
know him.
Yeah, we just met. I thought we
Yeah.
had a fucking solid first.
Barely talked
time.
about internet videos and stuff. Come on, dude. Give him a fair
Just because
shake.
you're not fat anymore, I don't like you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Ah, he's jealous.
You're kind of lording your overaged Disney quarterback
Hey, dude.
physique. I don't know.
Yeah, I do look like I would play a high school bully in the 80s when they used to just get grown men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for.
Yeah. Also, you should audition for Stranger Things.
I could
There's
probably
still-
get on it.
You could probably get on it.
Yeah.
With that jacket? Show it with that jacket.
I'll just be like,
Come on,
guys,
come on.
guys,
Fuck it, come on.
come on.
Kind of a smart
Like
ass.
I'll go upside down. What are we doing here?
So who lied?
Ooh.
Also, do you want to smoke some more weed with us?
Ooh, no.
I think a little more.
Take a little puff.
Yeah.
Oh, this? Yeah, all right.
Oh,
That was
shit.
a weird fucking laugh. What was that noise that just came out of me?
Brother. I have no
we cut
idea.
Yeah, edit that out forever. Can we just like lobotomize Gabe just enough that he forgets how to do that laugh? Do we have a screwdriver and a hammer?
I do, in the car.
Okay.
For this, not
Oh.
for work.
Okay. For roadside lobotomies.
Yeah, because sometimes you need to lobotomize.
Kyle, who told the truth?
Um. I'm torn because Scott said something at the beginning that felt very honest. You said you had to switch up the story because you thought you were doing a different story.
I didn't say that,
So
but
it
that
made
could
it
all be
seem
a
like,
ruse.
yeah, it made it seem like you could have had that planned already. His was definitely more detailed, but a little less believable.
Also more boring.
A lot longer.
Oh, wow. Fucking sabotaging. Good. Game on.
Exciting stories feel like lies.
Scott forgot to tell you in his story that he was gay.
You can't prove that.
I think
I was gay. I'm reformed now.
I-
There. Are you happy?
Yes. I've been praying.
Do you want a drum roll? I think Scott told the truth.
You're right, buddy.
Nice.
Look at you.
Did anything close to that happen, or you just whipped that up?
I took some details from some. Tony was a real kid, and we had a little back and forth and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but and his cousin was a real person who was a dick.
Yeah. You used a lot of names, so I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, it does sound like good writing. This just sounds like a story.
I have to be more
About
careful about
when-
that in the future. If I have to switch up the story on the fly about not hinting at that. Because I think that did give that away.
Yeah.
I think I might still believe yours because you were just talking about being in the slow classes, and I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
that felt true.
Yeah. No. Yeah. We've talked about that a lot on the podcast. And I'm starting to
Starting to fucking figure shit
starting
out.
to wonder, you know.
Dude, You're out of school. Why does it matter if you're retarded or not? You don't got to get grades, dude. Who
That's
cares?
true.
Who
That's
cares?
true.
You're like
He wasn't getting them in school anyway, so.
you're like Schrodinger's cat. Just don't open the box.
It's because all the blood and the oxygen is going to my pecker. It can't go to my brain. You know?
Because right now you're both retarded and not retarded.
Pecker brain.
And you will stay both of those until you find out. So just keep the box closed, dude.
Set me on fire. Let's see how retarded I am.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything
That's
to
how I
plug?
feel about autism. I don't want to find out if I am.
Oh, I'm much better off not knowing how autistic I am. For sure.
But everyone says that. I think I'm just weird.
Yeah.
No, cold brew. This the February 1st, 7:00 at East Austin Comedy Club.
Nice.
You can follow Cold Brew Comedy or Kyle D Comedy on Instagram.
Is that like a regular show you're doing?
Yeah, we do it bi-weekly at East Austin, and then we do like one-offs at some other venues.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Me and Sam Castillo.
Fuck
Oh, I
yeah.
love Sam.
Yeah, he's a man.
We should have Sam on too.
Yes.
He's a recovered drug addict, so I'm sure he'd have a really fun story and fit the vibe of
Yeah, for sure.
the episodes.
He's got
that we-
good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had Mason on a couple times, and he's talked about, when he used to abuse meth and shit. And who else have we had on like that? Because you and I have told a couple stories about.
We've had a bunch of different drugs.
yeah.
From us, but
Good times.
Yeah.
All anxiety.
well, you fucking beat us at our own game. Congratulations and
Yeah.
fuck you.
Sorry we don't have a prize.
Hey,
yeah,
you guys got
no, we do. You
The
got a
prize
sticker.
was like a lot
You
of
got a
weed.
sticker. Also,
Yeah.
it's an inappropriate amount of weed.
Like a good
That's a
amount of weed.
consolation prize. We'll get an actual prize soon for like a guest if they.
Oh,
if they guess right.
interesting. We
Maybe
should
get like
have,
an eighth or something.
Ooh.
THCA.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would never distribute actual marijuana to
Nope.
anybody.
No.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'd much rather give them lab stuff.
Correct. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Legally created in a lab.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Something unnatural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's way better
That's what
for
we're
you.
about.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you. This is a fucking blast.
It was fun, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Fucking,
Shalom.
Yeah.
Namaste.
Until next time.